And hey, everybody, we are live Friday. Happy weekend to you, as many of you have been wondering what all of these posts have been about. And now we're about to reveal the massive announcement and the big surprise. Thank you to Kyle Roberts, IFBB Pro Wheelchair, which we're going to get to here in just a second. But for those of you who are just joining us on Instagram, we're also on Twitter, or formerly known as Twitter, which is X. We're also on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on two YouTube channels as well as LinkedIn. So, Kyle, welcome to the show. First of all, so glad you're here, my man.
Oh, absolutely. It's an absolute pleasure, Matt. I really do appreciate it, man.
Yeah, well, here's what's neat. Kyle is not a stranger to the show, and we are not strangers to pleasant surprises either and big announcements. And I want to cover a little bit about what we have been doing over the last few months, because some of you have been following the journey and many of you might be new to the journey. And for those of you who don't know, this will be our year that we cap 4 events off. And we're kicking it off with the American Fit Expo coming up July 13th in Houston, Texas, which is going to be at the George R. Brown. There are going to be 100,000 square feet of vendors, different type shows like strongman, powerlifting. We have CT Fletcher there. I know Ronnie Coleman just confirmed as well. Jay Cutler as always likes to come back, and Strength Cartel. We are going to be the featured bodybuilding show there. And you will notice that we are going to show a picture here in just a second, which you'll see why we're talking about all 4 of these shows. And we have added divisions at each show. So I want to tell you what we have added, because Kyle has something very interesting and a twist to one of our new divisions that if you are following this, you're going to realize why this is such a massive announcement. So what we decided to do is we decided to make kids fitness a permanent division in all of our shows and a staple in a flagship. So we have kids division 0 through 10, which I think the youngest has ever competed was in 2022, which was a 4-year-old who did a 60-second routine, and she killed it. We also have 11 to 15-year-old on kids fitness, and we also have teen, we have masters, we have true novice, which is beginner, novice, as well as open, and masters starts at 35 and goes all the way up to as many divisions as we can fill. Now, Angel Wings came across this last year as a huge hit and success, because Angel Wings, any wellness, figure, bikini, even women's physique can do, and it's more of a creative type division where you get a chance to be in fitness model or costume type apparel, and you get a chance to basically do a 60-second routine, and it's based on creativity, tone, shape, those types of things, and any women in those divisions can compete. Now, we also added transformation, and Kyle was one of our guest posers at the Storm Classic International, which you'll see a picture of him here in just a second. Transformation is something that we have found to be an extremely inspirational category and division. And what we have done was we have done it both ways. Someone who might have been extremely overweight, they're just not moving around, they're not exercising well, and they have lost a significant amount of weight, and they can enter transformation, which some of them have chose to do also bodybuilding as well as bikini. And we also have someone who is having a hard time putting on muscle, and they have worked over the years to develop a physique and body that they're proud of. So that's also considered transformation. And this leads us to what this show is going to be all about tonight. Kyle and Gina and I got a chance to sit down, and you'll remember this, Kyle. We got a chance to sit down at the South Shore lobby, which we had our very first annual Summer Storm Classic. And I remember this conversation very well because I did not know Kyle at all, and Kyle didn't know me, but we kind of knew of each other. And Kyle, I want you to take it from here. What did we specifically talk about, and what do you remember from that conversation?
I remember one of the things, the first thing you asked was, what could we do different with the show? What worked, what didn't work, and you asked my opinions. And one of the things I talked about was lighting. That was fixed immediately. That was actually, I mean, that's a true testament to, in my eyes, to a great promoter who's actually listening and trying to do the right thing. Another thing we talked about was wheelchair division. And I was asked, would I be willing to be a part of it? I made an announcement at the international show last year that I will be a part of it. And not only will the wheelchair division be so-called what I try to help out with, Matt. Oh, watch out now.
Surprise.
Hit me fast.
You look good, by the way, too. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Nah, all good. Nah, I will actually be personally donating $1,000 to the wheelchair division out of my own paycheck. That's not endorsers, sponsors that I have gotten, which I'm trying to get. I want to give back to the wheelchair division because it does mean a lot to me. You know, I never thought that my career would be doing this and making a living. It's time for me to get back. And to all competitors out there, Matt Storm not only, and Matt, this is a true testament to you, and I think somebody should probably celebrate you in a sense, since you celebrate so many people. Matt's the first person that I have truly witnessed in the 20 years that I've been doing this. He does care, and he does try to get back to competitors, all competitors. And it's time for us to get back to Matt. And that is why I want to do this, is that he has accepted me for who I am and hasn't muzzled me one bit. And that's what I truly love about him, is that he does try to help all the competitors. So I want to do my part, and I'm going to help the wheelchair division. And I will personally give $1,000 of my own money to first, second, and third payouts.
Wow. So how does that look, and what does that mean? And by the way, it is greatly appreciated that you have stepped up, not only with yourself, but also your team. You know, Gina's a part of the family as well. And what's interesting is, what some of you don't know is, last year there was a show where they anonymously donated $1,000, which Kyle promised me not to tell last year, but I get to tell this year. Yes. I'm not going to tell you which show it was. It made no difference in anything except that we were able to give more back to athletes. And that is the type of person that Kyle is, and he steps up in a big way. But more importantly, there's one more thing. And while you're thinking of your answer, by the way, I'm stalling to give you time as far as how you want to pay this out, which the Desert Storm Classic, Kyle called up and said, hey, you mind if we come out to the Desert Storm Classic? And I'm like, dude, I would love for you guys to be, you know, there and helping and whatever you can do. These guys bought flights. They got in the car, went to the airport, flew out, showed up to the hotel, helped out with setting up, with tearing down, with during the show. Gina got to present trophies, as she was not competing in that show. She got a chance to compete in the summer in the international. And this is when I knew, I didn't know of Kyle and Gina and really where their hearts were. That meant the world to us, because for them to be involved in every single show last year, I know that they're looking for a way to go to London, England and hang out with us as well, because that has been mentioned, just nothing confirmed yet. So Kyle, what does this mean for the wheelchair division at the international show October 13th? And how do you see that going as far as the way that you want to reward the athletes that do show up?
It's actually huge. It is a chance for all, just like with unsanctioned shows, it gives a chance for all competitors to actually be able to compete. And the reason why is, what another huge announcement is, I'm going to right all the wrongs. I'm going to give a chance for everybody to be able to to keep everything in a more subjective line, right? So like, one of the things that I actually came up with is that I know that a lot of the wheelchair competitors take their backrest off, but they don't take it off throughout the entire day. They only take it off for competition. So aesthetically appealing, it's more that you get to see more. So I'm actually putting a mandate requirement that the backrest has to be a minimum height. So that way it doesn't show too much difference in aesthetic appeal. Another thing is that what a lot of people don't understand about with actual wheelchair competitors is that with their actual injuries, and to go on to explain it, is that, I'm a T10 paraplegic, but the way I was cut, I lost a lot of my abdominal structure. So I have to pose a certain way. So if a guy has better abs than me, again, it's just, I could have those abs. It's just that I'm not allowed to, because half of my ab structure was cut out. So when I was talking to the head judge, Cortez, we came up with a solution that, well, the obliques and the serratus and some of the intercostals do not get affected with a lot of the injuries of paraplegics and quadriplegics. So we actually, instead of doing an ab shot, since most most wheelchair people, 80% of the competitors on the IFBB Pro rank do not have abs except up to abs. We're going to actually do a side favorite, side intercostal oblique shot. Because if you have this, you're going to have this. All right. Just that we are in a position with our injuries not to have that. So I am going to right all the wrongs, which puts us on a whole different level playing field that a lot of times everybody says, oh, we listen. Well, I'm going to tell you something right now. Matt listens. I said a lot of things about, like what I didn't like and what I did like. And he made a point to try to correct them and do the right thing. I will personally listen to every complaint and every issue and every problem that a wheelchair competitor has with what we do. And I will find a way to correct it and make it a better environment and better place and a better competition for all the wheelchair competitors. And that is my word. And I am a man of my word. And Matt knows that. Ryan Picard knows that. A lot of competitors know that. All you got to do is ask me and I will perform. I will do what I need to do, which sets the tone that all those competitors who are tired of the nonsense, tired of not getting paid out proper, when the wheelchair division's on the Olympia stage and they get $3,000, I got that in my actual fanny pack right now. And I'm gonna make another huge announcement. Matt didn't know this. First place wheelchair, I'm giving an extra $500. So I'm actually going to do more than $1,000. I'm doing $1,500. $1,000 for the wheelchair division, but $500 for first place. And I can't give my word on this. I can't give a promise. But right now, I'm going to get so many sponsors and so many endorsers that we will have a bigger payout than Arnold and Olympia for wheelchair division. Might not be this year, might not be next year, but I will make and promise you that one day, Matt will have a bigger payout, and I will be a part of that. That it will basically say, Olympia and Arnold, you better check yourself before we wreck you. I ain't playing, man. I came out swinging. I'm sorry.
That's big, man. And that's huge because Arnold was just on one of the stages 3 weeks ago with Grant Cardone here in Miami. And this is what I want to mention too. One of the things that we did last year was we set this in motion because when Kyle guest posed, we saw the glimmer and we saw the hope and we saw what that could be. And so we ended up going to find an ADA compliant stage specifically for the October 13th show. So here's what ended up falling into place. All the dominoes fell in. Number one is we found a Sunday venue. So that way folks who compete on Saturday in other cities or even in the same city and want to come compete on Sunday, that's available. The second thing that we did is we found an ADA compliant ramp specifically at the Imagine venue, which we said, this is our venue. This is where it needs to be for multiple reasons, but including to include wheelchair division. So I'll go ahead and put my money where my mouth is as well. Since we do have $1,500 already in the pool for the wheelchair division, we are going to officially make an additional matching donation under Stormtrooper Productions. Even though we don't have it now, we will. So I'm a man of my word because Kyle is stepping up. We're going to lock arms with Kyle and what he's personally putting on the line. And we're also going to match $1,500. So that's going to be a $3,000 prize pool specifically for this division alone. Now we're already at $51,000. So we just increased to $52,500. And we're going to find a way to make every division a bigger payout every year from here on out. Now, answer me this, Kyle. We've talked about doing this ourselves, and you are really the spearhead of it. You have been working with Cortez to specifically create the criteria, the guidelines, how it should look, because we didn't know. And now you're bringing your expertise on. Where do you think companies would fit? If you were looking for a company, why do you think this is a great cause? And what companies do you think would want to reach out and, be involved in this?
Actually, to answer that very easily, that it's an unsanctioned show. It's an independent show. A lot of companies, when I've reached out to them, like, are you affiliated with X, Y, and Z? No. We'll be interested. Put a business scope together. changes the whole aspect of what companies can actually now be a part of, right? They're not just looking at it as from, oh, bodybuilding. They're looking at it from, these are people who do the exact same thing, if not more. And sometimes they do it a little bit better. I ain't doing no shots out all the upright walkers out there, but it's just sometimes we do. Just because of the determination that we have, because it's the only thing that we do have. So we represent a different market of, we went through it, we show what we're capable of doing, which means we are not handicapped. We are capable. So a lot of companies, like, such right now, that I'm actually trying to get one of the biggest actual water distributors in Louisiana to try to be a part of it. Kentwood and Evermore. You know, I'm trying. But they look at it as a standpoint of how I actually, let them know that because of their pH balance in their actual water, they allows people like me to not have kidney issues, that I don't have as many UTIs. When you present it in that fashion, we are not bodybuilders. We are athletes. It's just a term. It's just a label, because we do build the body, but we are athletes. You realize the amount of stuff that we do, because I had a little power lifter out here earlier that couldn't even, and she's strong, but she cannot even do half of what 3 of my bodybuilding girls can do. Powerlifters are athletes. Why can't bodybuilders be athletes? So again, and I digress to answer the question. It gives a forefront for all the other divisions and competitors to get bigger and better sponsors. Use us and abuse us. If we could end up getting sponsors like Kentwood and Evermore and other, and even maybe even Toyo tires or Spinergy tires, because that's what we use. Think about, we open that door for everybody else. This could,
yeah, go ahead.
This could change everything.
I'm looking through the comments right now, and that's why I keep looking down, because I didn't realize how many people are actually watching this around the world right now. And so, as you mentioned that, Kyle, I'm thinking about somebody like GPS Wealth Management and Cindy Barnett Phillips. She came on to say, look, I've got these masters taken care of. I am a masters competitor. I want to be involved in paying out masters. So she sponsored masters division shows for all the Houston shows. So she is our master sponsor for the Storm Classic International and Summer Storm Classic. And then I had someone reach out, like Dr. Goal of Prime Vitality Wellness, and he's like, I'm willing to travel because we do business everywhere. We want to keep athletes safe. So Prime Vitality Wellness came on as a diamond sponsor for the Summer Storm Classic and is also involved in the Desert Storm Classic and the Storm Classic International. I think about what other companies are out there specifically for athletes, like the wheelchair division, the Masters division. And so I love the fact that you've stepped up. And I know that you didn't know that I was going to match the donation tonight.
I didn't.
But I didn't know it either until I got on and said, you know what? You guys deserve it. And I think the other divisions will want an increase as well. And we are moving toward that. So for those of you who are out there who know of companies who want to get involved in this and they want to contribute something, some people say, hey, I have supplement shops who will contribute to winners. Some people say, I have a company right now, they make more money than they know what to do with, and they need a tax write-off. This is that time to do it. And we want to make sure, like meal prep companies like PowerFit Meals and Pro Meals, those are 2 staple sponsors that contribute to athletes. And Pro Meals has always done gift cards. They've always given a $100 gift card to winners. And that just makes our hearts warm, because now companies are getting revenue and business. More importantly, they're getting exposure, and athletes know that these are the best companies in the world to work with. So, Kyle, I want to thank you for not only just doing what you're doing, but also putting your money where your mouth is and developing this division into a vision where people are going to want to show up because of what you've created and what we've gotten the chance to do together. Dude, it means the world. So I just want to thank you and give you your flowers as well.
It really, you had me tear up a little bit when you say you were going to match, because, we're looked at different, and in a very negative way. The stories that I have, what things have been said to me, it's heartbreaking. And that's the reason why I love this sport so much, is because Whenever I got on stage, all the other divisions didn't look at me different. They were looking at me the exact same way that I would look at them. Like, where could I get better? Like, oh, you need better delts, you need this. They didn't care about the wheelchair. And I think that's a big message that, that I think everybody who is watching right now, that Matt does provide, is that there is no judgment. We're here to make every one of y'all better. But we also need a little bit of help by, hey, there's anybody that network. There's nothing wrong with, giving a little push. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm even going to try to reach out to companies that have told me no years ago when I was trying to get sponsors, but it's because of a certain affiliations, because they didn't want the label. Well, there is no label now. And that's what's nice. We just a group of people that love what we do and love to be told that you're not good enough, go get better and come back and show me. So, in turn, Matt, since I'm gonna one up you now.
Uh-oh. This is gonna get out of control here.
Yeah, it is. Since you matched what I did, I'll be personally writing another $1,000 to the other divisions to put towards them.
Are we bidding against each other right now, Kyle?
I don't know, maybe.
My Lord. Here's the best part about it. You're hearing a lot of heart right now. And if you look at the bottom of the screen, I don't look at the screen, I look at the camera. So I sometimes have no idea. I see all these comments that I missed, and I apologize. I see Renee, I see Angie. We love you too. I see Yvonne. She's up in Canada. We have Argentina as well as London tuning in, and it's like midnight over there because they wanted to see what was going on. For those of you, good Lord, I'm going to stop you before you spend way too much money. So we'll get all of this down and we'll put it in format. So that way on the website, the wheelchair division has a specific page that they can go to. So they know exactly how the payouts are going to work. They know exactly what the criteria is going to be. And that is going to be up soon. I want you guys to take a look. And if you want to get involved, number one is you can contact us, for those of you who are watching on X, at either MattStormTX or on my Instagram, for those of you who are watching on Instagram. And I see Beverly, I see 72 The Architect, Sameda, who just competed, by the way, in the NFF Showdown. I see Mark Days. I see Macro Meals. I see, hey, Mr. Schonewald. I see you, my man. He is one of our sponsors for the Desert Storm Classic. And oh my gosh, there's so many people. I see Tyler as well. I see Tony Cadenas with Arsenal Coaching. There's probably 45 or 46 other people that I can't mention right now. And so I want you to follow Kyle. And Kyle, I want you to, first of all, give your Instagram name, and then I'll give the crew.fitness Covington. That's going to be at that's going to be your email address, but also crew.fitness on Instagram. What is your personal email if someone wants to reach out, or your personal Instagram?
All right. So my personal email is crew, KREWE.fitness.kyle@gmail.com. And my personal Instagram is KROB, KROB_IE. And a lot of people think it's K-Roby, but it's not. It's K-Rob for Kyle Roberts, but I do have a little story because I know we have to get off and stuff like that. But IE is basically just a small abbreviation for a company that I own called Involved Evolution. And my mission statement behind Involved Evolution: the more that you are involved, the more we can evolve. That is what we are actually asking right now. The more you are involved with what we are doing, we can evolve. That shit hits.
I love that. And when did you form that?
I did that about in 2012. And I was trying to make it a nonprofit company. And then I kept getting hammered by certain things. And then I decided just to take it as a company, as an LLC.
Wow.
So it's just sitting on the back burner until I can do something with it.
Well, I think it's time to get that activated. And what we've done tonight, I see a lot of people. Good Lord. I mean, everything is lighting up right now. So I'm like looking around in like 3 different ways on the chat as well as on this. The mentor coach is here. Sully is here. I see Fit with Jess. I see all of you, and love the love. And so from here, we have 12 weeks until the Summer Storm Classic. We have 16 weeks until the Desert Storm Classic. We have 20 weeks until the Storm Classic UK debut. And then we have 28 weeks. It's either 26 or 28 until the October 13th Storm Classic International, where we're going to debut the wheelchair division. Now, for those of you who asked who could register, yes, registration is open. Late registration will start next month in June, but regular registration starts May 1. So for those of you who are doing the summer show, you need to get registered in the next few days to make sure you're in early bird registration. And then Kyle, I can't wait to see and light up that Imagine venue with your guys, with your team. I know that, you work very closely with a lot of amazing athletes, but I just once again want to thank you from not only just me, from the family, from the staff, but the people who are working to grow this entire company and organization to being the place to compete. And I've heard so many stories already just in the last 2 years that people are like, I'm in for life. I'm in for good. You have been one of those people, and we just want to say thank you and appreciate you, Gina, the Crew Fitness crew, if that's even Crew Fitness, if that's even a word, but I like that.
It is now.
I love it. And let's just go Crew Fitness crew from here. So last way to get in touch with you, what's the best way?
Best way, believe it or not, is just hit me up on the actual email, the crew.fitness.kyle@gmail.com. I have that thing attached to my freaking face. So, and also, Matt, we will be there for each show this year as well. Again.
Love it. Love it. So, we're going to have you present some awards if you're cool with that. And Gina involved as well if she's not on stage. But
whatever you need, I'll put my dancing shoes on.
I love it. We'll dance up a little storm. No pun intended.
Oh, watch out.
We got jokes. We got everything. But no, for those of you who have been tuning in, we have, I know, at least 140 people right now organically tuning in, and we've had a couple thousand watching this around the world. So no matter where you are, we want to thank you. And also make sure and reach out to Kyle. Follow him on Crew Fitness on Instagram. And also you can go to the website at crewfitnesscovington.com. And that's going to be the place where you're going to see a lot of alliances formed. You're going to see a lot of companies reaching out, and you're going to probably see some new announcements coming out. We're not going to outdo each other anymore. So let's cap it tonight.
I'm done for real. I'm out.
All right. And then what we'll do is we'll get it all in writing and then on the website. So everything that we talked about tonight, people know exactly what's going on, how to get involved if they want to, who to contact. And also we would love to see you in the stands, in the crowd. As a vendor, we do have still a few left as far as sponsorships, and also the new divisions are growing like crazy in every single city right now. So can't wait to see you guys, and just want to thank you again, Kyle.
You're very welcome. It's my pleasure, my brother.
You got it. And I do want to make this last announcement. You're going to see more of us doing with partners that we have brought on board that have asked to be on with us. Dr. Goal, we're going to do 2 20-minute segments. We're also going to have Cindy Barnett Phillips. We're going to do a 30-minute segment. And then you're going to see a little bit of drip and drop throughout Instagram as well as Facebook. But we want to make sure that our show numbers are strong, as they always are. And we have had more interest in registration this year early than we've ever had in the history of the 6 years we've been doing shows. So I have a feeling there's going to be a tidal wave of new athletes, and a lot of you who got comfortable thinking you're going to come in and roll in and earn some money. You've got your work cut out for you.
Yeah,
so
right.
I would just highly recommend come in top condition. What were you going to say?
No, that was it. I was going to tell everybody, look, y'all better come in dialed in. It's going to be a warpath for sure.
It is. And I don't have the championship rings. They're actually in my other backpack, but they came in, all 100 of them. You saw the Instagram, the backpacks, they all came in. The trophies, oh my gosh, Steve is so excited to be taking a 3D picture of our overall winners and building a trophy of you to be able to present and give you. It's not going to be at the stage, but it's going to be mailed to you, or if you're at the next show, we will give it to you personally on stage. We have so many great things that are in store, Kyle. I don't think anybody's going to be able to touch us as far as what we're doing with athletes. And some of these sponsors are wanting to give extra stuff even at athletes meetings. So I just got to say, watch out, because I think this is the year we're going to hit. Next year is the year where we're going to blow up.
It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing. I saw the rings, and then when Gina told me what they were gonna do with the overall, and I'm not a man that's usually speechless, but I was taken back. I was like, oh shit. I was like, that's so cool, man.
Wait till we do a couple more little tricks up our sleeves. We got surprises, we got some hacks, and you never know who's going to get on board. A company might come in. We might even double the prize money next year. I don't know. But at this point, this is going to be that calm before the storm, so to speak. But it's already kind of like that, when popcorn pops and then the lid, the old stuff before the microwave happened, you see that lid popping off and then all of a sudden it explodes. I don't know what we're going to do, dude, but hey, we're going to be bringing on staff. We've had many inquiries on that. We have volunteers like no other. We have more trophy presenters. We have our production coordinator pulling his hair out and going, how are we going to contain all this? We could go on, but we're going to cut it here tonight. I just want to wish everybody a great weekend. Want to thank the Roberts, want to thank Crew Fitness, and want to thank all the prospective wheelchair competitors who are considering. You can contact myself or Kyle. We will make sure and answer all of your questions. Make sure you know exactly what's going on, but definitely looking forward to it. So everybody have a great weekend. We will talk soon. Enjoy your weekend, and hope this helped.